Megadeth, subscribe, Witty Smitty News, or you're a fucking loser and your whole life and existence is nothing and I fucking hate you unless you subscribe and then
I see another morning and thank the Almighty. Pulled another all-nighter cause my hand kept writing. I'm certified giant of the game, a lion, hear me roaring.
Christian Smith, Witty Smitty News, finally joined with Paul Marz. This has been like, what, 2 years in the making, year and a half in the making.
Like
but first off, introduce yourself.
My name's Paul Marz. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I'm an MC and now part owner of Rap Battle.
Now, what got you into hip-hop overall, and what made you become an MC?
When I was young, like around 8, I have an older sister, 10 years older than me, so one of the first albums I ever listened to was 36 Chambers. So at a young age, I was already like into hip-hop. It was kind of like the first thing I was exposed to, and it wasn't until I was like, I would listen to certain things. I listened to Wu-Tang, Onyx. Then I started listening to Biggie, Busta Rhymes. Those are like some of the earliest artists I ever was exposed to. When I was in high school, I used to just kind of freestyle, cut school with my friends, you know, shit that kids
Typical
do.
kids,
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know, I used to be really bad. I wasn't good, but I hung out with this guy, Jonathan Bordier. I will never forget. He was awesome. He used to body people. This is when people would freestyle battle.
And actually freestyle.
Yeah, I'm talking like 99.
Yeah.
Right? So I used to hang with him all the time and I just practiced. I would sharpen my skills. And then when I got into college, I never really thought like it was something I did for fun, but a lot of my friends would always push me like to keep it up, maybe go in the studio and stuff like that. I didn't go into the studio till I was in college. I was like 21. I recorded with Text, who's Maddie's partner when they made music, the Higher Concept. So, Dave Noodles, who you met earlier,
Yeah.
who runs Stereotype. Now, I've known Noodles since I was 8 years old. So the Stereotype thing was an idea for a long time, but Noodles introduced me to Text. That's how I got into the studio at first, around like 20, 21.
Now, from your earlier influences, obviously most were hip-hop. Were there any that were outside of the hip-hop game that you had influences from?
Yeah, listen to like, I mean, because my sister was older, there was other things, like she would play things like Chili Peppers and Bob Marley, even the Beatles. She just played a lot of things, so when I was young, I started to understand differences in music and I grew a big appreciation for it. But I guess growing up like in Staten and being in New York and just the culture and that time, you know, it really like, I was engulfed in it.
Now talk Stereotype.
Stereotype, basically, me and Noodles were in the same second grade class. We've been childhood friends. Stereotype, the logo itself was something that Noodles drew up. We were probably like 13. And it was something that he would always wanted to do. He's like, I'm going to have my own clothing line. And he was that young when he figured it out. So when we started off, Noodles used to make music. We made music together. That was why I went to the studio. Noodles is the one who brought me to the studio. He was already making music, you know? But Stereotype started off because we were doing shows on the island. This was about 2007, 2008, around the same time we met Text and THC. And they were already doing their thing for a while. So they kind of showed us the ropes in terms of how to build your brand. And the game was a little bit different then. It wasn't like... Twitter was, I guess, around. I think it was developed that year. You know?
Yeah, that leads me to my next question anyways. When you started compared to now, how different is the game?
It's funny that I feel like I ended the era. I like started at the end of that era and everything changed midway, like while I was on my way up, I guess, to where I wanted to be. But back in the day, I used to have CDs, stickers, flyers, like promotion was all physical. I would go get on the ferry, I'd go on the train stations. If I wanted to post on a wall, I literally posted on a wall.
Yeah.
There was no Facebook to post my shit on, like
At the
my
bar
flyer.
too.
Yeah, but that's what it was. So, but I also, when I was younger, I grew up seeing that. When I would ride the train, that's all I really knew. I didn't know, but also at that time, it was still, I'm trying to get signed. There was no, like, the independent route was a thing, but it wasn't like
it was now.
Like now, it's clear cut. Like if you don't go independent, then I mean, you better have a great offer, you know. So that's a major difference to me.
Now, if you could work with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I think I would like to work with. This is a hard question. I'd have to. I'm split kind of between like maybe Eminem, but also I would say like the GZA, because I just respect the way he goes about making songs and his craft and the lyricism. You know, I think it would be just a cool experience. The GZA, I would say.
Now, I'm gonna name 5 songs that stood out to me when I was going through your material.
Yeah.
If you were in the studio with him, you can give a quick story about that or just how the song came about.
Sure.
So the first one is Rise featuring Sky Zoo.
Sky Zoo, at the time when I did these tracks, Sort of Sound, 2002, I had a manager, Jonathan Master, who was like really helping me link up with people, and so he actually brought Sky Zoo into that picture. It was him. And he used to manage also Emilio Rojas. So he managed Emilio. We linked up South by Southwest in 2012.
So that kind of leads me to my next one anyway,
Yeah.
which would be Doubt Me featuring Emilio.
Yeah.
So that stemmed from...
That stemmed from my manager as well. I think my manager had got me about three or four features on that album, which was real big at the time when I was working there.
So what about Dust featuring Freeway?
Freeway, I met, two things. I met him through my manager, because their manager, Freeway's manager is close with my manager. I also opened a show for him and Slaughterhouse here in Brooklyn in 2012. That was around the same time, so that's how that all came about, yeah.
Karma with legendary battle rapper Math Hoffa.
That's a cool one.
Did that happen here?
That happened here, yeah. I used to live here, and I met Hoffa. He would be here. He was working on, I think he was working on ACMD2. I'm pretty sure that's what he was working on. And yeah, I met him here. I was here every day. I lived here. I would see him. He'd be in the basement. We would just chat, get along. He'd let me sit down during his sessions and just vibe out, you know. And it was like after a year's time, we were like good friends, you know. Had a good convo. And he seen me working, and I asked him. I was just like, hey, I got this project. Let him hear it. And yeah, he did his thing.
Now the last song is System Air featuring an iBattle, EB, aka Eli Brooklyn, and the film crew, Matty J.
See, people don't know about Matty
But he's
J.
fire.
That's a whole nother interview.
Yeah, he's fire.
So we'll just leave that there. But in terms of that, EB approached us with that track. The producer, St. Brill, I believe, is from Static. Don't quote me on that. I'm sorry if he's not. But yeah, EB approached us with that track, and I was feeling the whole vibe. Actually, he let me hear that in Toronto. We were at...
When he battled W?
I don't remember. I don't remember when...
I think that was the night we met, same event probably.
I know we were at Wheezy's house after, or could be, the night of the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at Wheezy's after. He let me hear that beat, and I actually wrote the verse right there with him, like on the spot. It just came to me. I hadn't wrote a verse for a while. I had writer's block.
And then how'd you guys get Matty on it?
We just hounded him for 6 months.
This is true.
Now, what can we expect from you this year? I seen you post a couple things that stuff's coming, and there's talks of maybe a tour or something.
I'm working on an album. It's called Death of a Star, Rise of a Titan. It's almost finished. It's like the concept is kind of like Death of a Star is like your ego or something. People, when people start off, especially like younger MCs, they want to stardom. They think it's all, you know, money and trips and happiness, but it's not. It's not. So you gotta kill that idea, and then you'll be able to become Rise of the Titan, which is like the second part of the album. That's how you unlock your full potential, pretty much. So that's the concept behind that album. I'm almost done with it, working on it with Jay Glaze.
What can we expect future production wise?
I got Eddie I. I got a track with Intel.
Is that
and
Lex?
that's Intel is you got son.
What about that Lex?
Lex is on that track as well. Madhouse, that'll be coming out soon. I try to keep this one more like
In-house?
yeah, artists that, you know, that I want to hear. So I got my boy Tyrone Briggs and Chris Valentine back together there from the island.
What about a date?
Not set in stone yet because there's a few things I want to sort out in terms of visuals, but probably towards the fall. I'm looking at like later this year because like about the tour, I might be hitting the road come September or something like that, but that's not locked in yet.
Christian Smith, Witty Smitty News, Paul Marz. We're gonna have part 2 come and talk the battle rap shit, but tell them where to find you.
You can check paulmarz.com. On YouTube, it's /MarzVision. Paul Marz P with a Z. So PMarz is my Instagram, my Twitter, @PMarz. Yeah.
Well, thank you, man.
Yo.
It's been
Thank you.
too long. We needed to do this.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
But yeah, Witty Smitty News, man. We out here.
Peace.